Over the summer, we told you about a startup that had launched to bring together tech entrepreneurs to help launch them on their way mid-pandemic. We wonder how that's all going. Masha Krol is with us now. She is the founder in residence with Entrepreneur First. Masha, thank you very much for being with us. We appreciate your time.
Thanks so much for having me, Amanda.
So let's just start with how it's going. It's obviously an interesting time, and I imagine there have been some adjustments that have gone along the way here. But catch us up on where things are with Entrepreneur First.
We're about 9 weeks in. It has been a really intense journey, as startup journeys always are. We have adjusted pretty well, and we have actually been taking advantage of the video call kind of notion currently. So when EF started, we did a global video call with EF's co-founder, Alice, and she was able to invite all the women founders across the global cohorts in London, Paris, Berlin, Singapore, Bangalore, and Toronto to get input and discuss. So we're really trying to make the best of it.
So give us a sense of what you're aiming for and how it matches up with what you're seeing.
We were aiming to build a globally important startup, and so far it's matching up. The EF support has been incredible. They really de-risk your time by paying you a stipend. They introduce you to co-founders, and I have met my co-founder, and they connect you to mentors with tons of learnings to share and frameworks to support us.
One of the things, obviously, Entrepreneur First, I think, hopes to do is help propel women into the tech world, into the entrepreneur space. How is that going, and how does it fit plan?
That's going well. They're very supportive of founders generally, and as I mentioned, female founders for sure. I'd also really want to make sure that people understand that Entrepreneur First is a venture capital firm and not a charity. They're really looking to make money. So the fact that they're taking chances and actively recruiting people like me, I think, is a testament to that vast untapped financial opportunity that investing in women entrepreneurs can bring. And I think we need more institutional investors to recognize that.
And are you, that was my next question, because we just talked this week to TELUS, which is launching an innovation fund, a social innovation fund. We are seeing more and more very diverse institutions. That's a kind of unusual step for a business like that. Are you seeing more of them kind of getting into this sort of space? And does that help you or hurt you? Will they invest in you, or do they become a competitor of yours?
I mean, I certainly hope they invest in me. But there is a ton of sort of money and opportunity and success flowing in the Canadian ecosystem, and hopefully some of that does go to female founders. I think, however, the fact is, and I don't know what the numbers in Canada are, but in US and Europe, the venture capital going to founding teams with women on them is something like 12%, and women-only founding teams receive a measly 2%. I think it's because we have so few female role models, sort of both on the investing side, as well as mentors and operators that have been there and done that. But it's really encouraging to see more of this support going in, and I think we need still more.
Would you say that there are specific issues when you've been a female entrepreneur, just by, you've been an entrepreneur, you happen to be female, I don't need to lump them together, but would you say there are issues that you could share with other women who may be reluctant for whatever reason and help smooth their path? And is there any gender aspect to that you would highlight?
Honestly, Amanda, it's a tough question. I don't really know what the answer is there. I'm definitely not an expert, but just from my personal experience, like I said, there's a ton of money in the ecosystem that we should be able to leverage. So, the Shopifys, the Wealthsimples of this world, and most recently, the Nova Scotia startup Verifin selling to NASDAQ for a whopping $2.75 billion. So I think from that perspective, there's definitely opportunity. And plus, there's really no glass ceiling when you're trying to found your own startup. You're kind of bounded only by your own ambition. So I guess I would encourage female entrepreneurs to sort of look at those maybe more traditionally boring spaces like Snowflake, right, that IPO'd for $75 billion. I'd say it's worth it for underrepresented founders to look at, evaluating those opportunities, especially in the B2B space, because we can just create so much more impact.
We hear often that there is a very strong ecosystem, partly because of our strong educational system here in Canada and because we're starting to have some areas of excellence. Is that creating little mini hubs for you at EF? I mean, are you seeing AI as one thing that's an area of focus, for instance, or robotics or other things that Canada really excels in?
For sure. I'm based in Montreal myself, and thankfully because of the pandemic, I was actually able to stay here and create a co-founding relationship virtually. But certainly Montreal has come up as an AI hub. And my previous role at Element AI, which is a fast-growing AI startup here, really helped me, I think, see that you can grow companies right here in Canada at that Silicon Valley pace, which is extremely inspiring.
Absolutely. Masha, it's great to have you with us. It's good to have an update, and we will stay in touch as you go along. Masha Krol is the founder and resident at Entrepreneur First.